Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another StarCraft 2 cast with me, District StarCraft. And today we have another game from reddit.com/r/casted, and it's going to be a ZVZ on the map Vaani Research Station, I'm pretty sure. I don't know what the new maps are called, but I'm pretty sure this is Vaani Research Station. So let's start this game off by introducing our players. Spawning in the 6 o'clock position is our red side player. It is CaptainJee. Oh yeah. And in the 12 o'clock position, we have our blue side player. It is Boshie. And yes, this is going to be a CVZ, which, as you probably all know, is the most volatile matchup in StarCraft 2. At least I think it is. So much fast stuff going on in this matchup. It's just incredible. But I want to talk just shortly about this map. You have this in-base expansion right here, backdoor. Which of course is very susceptible to drops and mutalisk play here, but it's also pretty safe in the early game, so we might see some sort of two-base play, because the third base is relatively hard to secure. You have this huge entrance right here, and you also have this backdoor where your opponent can easily run in with lings and all that stuff, so might see some two-base plays, the way we see like two-base plays on Selnaga Caverns. If you remember that map, it was in the Dream Pool. Was it? Oh, that was stupid. It's one of the worst maps. But nonetheless, Boshie is going for a spawning pool first here in the 12 o'clock position. So he, CaptainJee, wow, he's starting to. Okay, so CaptainJee decides to take this third base location as his natural. I don't know if that's a mistake. Perhaps he didn't see this base, or he just wants to play it a bit risky here. Boshie has not taken any gas yet. So, of course, so far, it doesn't look like it's going to be that aggressive with his spawning pool here. He just wants to be a bit safe. And yes, Boshie is now going to secure that natural in base. And CaptainJee has spotted this as well. Perhaps CaptainJee, I don't know if why he decided to go for this base instead of the in base. Perhaps he wants to take that as a very safe third, because he knows that Boshie isn't going to apply any pressure to this natural. I don't know. We'll see how this game plays out. So far, still no gas from Boshie, but CaptainJee has secured his first geyser right here, and the spawning pool is about to finish up as well. Boshie is, of course, going to have an earlier queen out, and it's going to have a couple of earlier scouting lings. So, he's got that going for him. But I think that CaptainJee is going to be ahead in the income. And no, they're pretty even so far. We'll see if this early natural, or second base I should say, is going to be paying off for CaptainJee here. CaptainJee does decide to go for 6 links right now. Perhaps he feels a bit vulnerable with this base, but 8 links is a bit of an overproduction just to be scouting, I think. So he might want to apply some pressure with those as well. But still no gas from Boshie on the other side, and this is very risky play, to be honest. If you skip or delay your sling speed, that could prove to be pretty, you know, since CaptainJee has got gas and is probably going to start his metabolic boost in just a second. If he decides to produce a lot of lings, Boshie's going to be in a bit of trouble here. Banelings and metabolic boost circlings absolutely wreck slow circlings, to be honest. And yes, metabolic boost is started right now, but double spine is being dropped here from Boshie, so perhaps he knows that he's very susceptible to any sort of early ling aggression here. And did he spot these circlings? Perhaps he did. CaptainJee, pro tip, if you build 8 circlings, try to use them for something. Scout, at least, get them out on the map or do something. Both circle players are actually dropping double spine right now, so perhaps they're both feeling a bit nervous. They don't really know what's going on the other side of the map. So far, they're still mining fairly evenly, 620 to 560. So looks like CaptainJee is behind right now in the income. And if we go to the units, we can see that it's 24 to 22, 23. I don't know. Couple of evolution chambers being dropped right now, and a roach warren as well, which is very standard in CVC. Of course, roach versus roach is what been standard for the, I think, for the entire Heart of the Swarm. I don't know what. I can't remember what it was like in Wings of Liberty, but I suppose it was Roach versus Roach back then as well. Yeah, I think it was. So Roach versus Roach has always been very viable in CVC. But so far, nothing much is actually going on in this game. They both have Sognus out of the map, but neither one of them decides to do anything with them. They're just sitting at home, and they're staying on 2 bases for now. Double gas has been secured by Boshie in his main base, and 2 guys are at what? He's got 2 guys at his natural as well, but no drones there mining, so pretty weird game here. I think he went for the like old Spanish style, where he got all of his 4 guys at the same time, but that was way back in Visa Liberty. If anyone remembers Spanish War. But I think it's a bit too low on drones, unfortunately. CaptainJee does decide to go for his 3rd base right now, and he is working on his Rotorn as well. He does not have any evolution chambers, does he? Structures, nope. This is all he's got. So Boshie is going to be ahead in the upgrades. And remember that when you're in a mirror matchup and you have this same composition, upgrades are absolutely vital. Staying even or staying ahead on upgrades can be super crucial in a lot of the engagements, basically. But CaptainJee is getting his evolution chambers up right now, so he's not going to end up too far behind in those. Glider reconstitution has been started for Boshie, but CaptainJee, he is starting to, I think he's going to apply some pressure right here. He's making 11 roaches right now, which, unless Boshie makes roaches of his own, he's going to have a hard time holding off with just 5 or 4 links or whatever he's got out right now. Lair is being started for CaptainJee, as well as pneumatized carapace, which is the overload speed. He spots these roaches now. If you paid attention there, we're going to see what it starts producing right here in the production tab. So far, just an overload, no roaches on production for Boshie. CaptainJee, unfortunately, he's not really pushing with these roaches. And if you're building army without using them, and you're allowing your opponent to drone heavily in the mirror matchups, you're going to end up far behind. Because the way to win a roach versus roach, I think, is to get ahead some way in the drone count. If you're ahead in 3 drones and you're both producing roaches, you're gonna win eventually due to the income advantage. Now Boshie is starting to produce his own roaches though. He's got 8 of them on the way right now and 3 out on the map. But remember that CaptainJee does have 3 bases compared to the 2 of Boshie. So if Boshie decides to stick on 2 bases, stay there, he's gonna end up behind in the economy as well. Income right now is 1200 to 1200, so it's pretty even still. CaptainJee hasn't really utilized his 3rd base just yet, just now starting to mine from there, producing 11 more drones. But so if Boshie decides to stick on 2 bases, as I said, and does not punish CaptainJee for taking 3 bases, Boshie's gonna end up far behind. I think this is a gold level game. I'm pretty sure it was in gold, so these players are not the best in the world, but not terrible either. They're pretty regular standard players, because gold is definitely the largest league nowadays. Boshie does decide to go secure his 3rd base on the other side of the map though, which is good for him. He really needs that to stay in the game, as I've said multiple times. The hunter list then is coming down after CaptainJee. It's a bit too early, I must say. There's a reason for why a lot of players stick to about 150, 160 supply before they decide to get hydralisks out on the map. Hydras are very good when defended by roaches, but they are pretty low in HP, and they don't have the same amount of armor, I think. Perhaps they do have the same amount of armor, but they have 90 HP compared to the 145 of a roach. So roaches can tank for the hydralisks, but hydralisks without roach support are unfortunately not going to be that great. CaptainJee looks like he's balancing this out pretty well nonetheless. He's getting 30 more roaches and 3 hydralisks right now, and I think CaptainJee is in a better position right here. I think he's hitting his injects better than Boshie is. They're pretty even, but seeing them a bit better, and his 3rd base was ahead of Boshie's. It's also ahead in tech, so I would definitely say CaptainJee is in a better position right now. Boshie is also deciding not to spread creep. He's got 200 on these queens. He can easily drop a lot of creep tumors. Perhaps he wants to use them for transfusion though. But upgrades, as I said, are vital in these mirror matchups. So CaptainJee is behind in upgrades. He only got the +1 attack right now, while Boshie's got the +1/+1. And that is, I don't know why he's not getting carapace and range attacks at the same time. I don't really know, but just some slight hiccups there. And now go to check out the income. You can see that CaptainJee is ahead. He's starting saturating his 3rd base, and he's not pulling ahead. He's ahead by about roughly 500, 400 minerals, something around that range. And these players, I feel like they're just gonna try to max out both of them, and CaptainJee is gonna get maxed out a lot quicker than Boshie is. We can see that he's starting to pull ahead in the supply. Set by 20 supply right now, and set by 35 arm supply. So I do think CaptainJee is gonna push as soon as he reaches 200, which is gonna be in just 30 seconds or so. Now Boshie decides to push. He's 147 supply right now, and as I said, he is ahead in upgrades, but perhaps not for that long. CaptainJee is going. Why is he going for melee? I don't know. Yeah, if Boshie is probably gonna wait for his 2-2 to finish and then push, and that is going to give him a huge advantage in this fight, because CaptainJee he's only got a 1-1, and that's not the best. But CaptainJee's army is a lot larger, so we'll see if Boshie can manage to take this engagement with his upgrades. So it's going to come down to the concave and a lot of that stuff. CaptainJee has got Zerglings out, which I suppose are just there to tank as well. You're going to get close up with this army and tank a bit of damage from Boshie. Might also get Banelings. Of course, Banelings can deal a lot of damage to clumped up armies, like the Roach Hider composition. It's often very clumped up, so we'll see right here. The engagement is about to take place. Here we go. Zerglings are rushing in. The Roach Hider falls from Boshie is ready to fight. The Zerglings are a bit too early. Where are they going? I don't really know. Here we go. They're starting to trap this army right now, and this is not the best position here from Boshie. CaptainJee is getting a much better concave, much better engagement angle here. And the upgrades are doing work for Boshie here, but CaptainJee's army is just slightly too big. 62, or is it? I don't know. Reinforcements are coming from Boshie though. 18 more roaches, and look at this. Boshie might be able to hold on here. No, it's starting to. CaptainJee is starting to pull ahead right now. Some transfuses coming down, but it's not going to be enough. These Hydralisks are still here, and they deal a lot of damage with the machine guns. But Boshie is starting to reinforce with a lot of roaches, and as I said earlier, Hydralisks are very low on HP, and they are going to die very quickly to these roaches. So Boshie managed to stay alive there, even though he was behind in the army. Those upgrades really helped him a lot in that engagement, I have to say. CaptainJee is reinforcing now with roaches and Hydralisks, and he's gonna eat. Yeah, I think he built an infestation pit somewhere. Structures right now. Have they both got infestation pits? No, CaptainJee has got the infestation pit right here, which allows him to take 2 hive and of course get that 3-3 as well as the infestors. And infestors have been around for a long time in the CVC matchup. Of course, you can fungal and throw out infested terrans as well. Infested terrans not that useful anymore in Hardened Swarm, since they do not benefit from the upgrades. Ooh, CaptainJee right now 194 supply, Boshie 137, and CaptainJee, if he does decide to push right now, I don't think Boshie's gonna hold on. Upgrades right now, 2-1 for CaptainJee and 2-2 for Boshie, so Boshie does not have that huge advantage anymore in the upgrades. CaptainJee is starting to catch up. Of course, CaptainJee has got the melee attack as well, for some reason, I don't know why, really. But I guess he wants to get Zerglings just to tank, as I said earlier. 4th base being established right now for CaptainJee. Boshie is out of the map, but not really a lot he can do here with his army. CaptainJee's army is just so much larger. And I suppose they both have all the Hydralisk upgrades. Grooved spines. No Hydralisk speed out for Boshie, which is pretty unfortunate. That Muscular Augments is really doing a lot for the Hydralisks when you're off creep. And on creep as well. I think they're faster on creep as well. So now 195 to 192, and Boshie has actually managed to catch up in the armor supply right now. It's gonna come down to the engagement angle. The Zerglings are rushing in, and they're not as valuable as the Roaches and Hydralisks are. But CaptainJee, his army is just a lot bigger right here. I don't know where most of Boshie's army is. Here we go, a couple of Roaches are reinforcing here. CaptainJee is getting a huge concave here, but Boshie is able to deal a lot of damage with a lot of his units as well. The army, oh my god, this engagement is so close. Their supplies are very even as well, but I think CaptainJee is starting to push forward right now, yeah. And there we go, GG from Boshie. And this was a pretty close game. I was surprised Boshie managed to stay even for so long in the supply and armor supply. But as you can see in mirror matchups, every little thing matters so much. Every single drone matters a lot. Every single upgrades. And yeah, I don't know who submitted this game. CaptainJee, Boshie, probably CaptainJee. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the cast, and I would love for you to submit more games to cast it. It's a lot of fun to see new submitters. Perhaps you submitted sometime before, I don't know. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the cast, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.